So recently, I was looking for some stupid things to buy. Ideally, I'd find something that would give me that ever-fleeting consumerism-based happiness, and alas, I succeeded. Because I found out that in the 1980s, those little talking birthday card things, you know about them. They definitely existed in the 80s, but due to limitations in technology, they didn't use microchips and speakers like they do now. They used vinyl records, and the record players, they were built into the paper-based cards. I, of course, picked up a few of these, and I really want to explore everything about this product with you guys. From the company that made it being called Recards to the fact that, in practice, these things didn't really even work. We're gonna try to dig into and figure out when, what, and why on earth record player greeting cards ever existed in the first place. So to start off this story, I want to go further back than the 80s when this was invented, all the way to the 20s. The 1920s, which I guess I do have to specify here. The whole thing technically started because of a businessman named Raphael Tuck. He had way too much leftover postcard stock, which was a problem for businessmen in the 1920s, I suppose, and he was having trouble selling it. So Tuck and his sons developed the idea to pour raw shellac onto the cards, and then they would press messages into them, to later be played in its entirety, postcard backing and all, on a gramophone. In the 1920s, it was super easy to get your hands on, so this whole process was rather cheap. Especially since these weren't like custom messages, they were mass-produced messages. They usually had like a song or a season's greeting on them, and they would mail them out to tens of thousands of people for just a couple bucks. Small tangent here, but the original advertising for the papers and all that kind of stuff, it simply stated, "Greeting cards, they play, sing, and talk," which for someone who had no, idea what this was, might have been kind of terrifying. And this went really well, this whole business went really well, all the way up into the late 1950s, when something very important happened. They invented flexi discs. The easy to produce, better sounding, and way cheaper version of vinyl and shellac. It's the same thing that was used in this product, and it was genuinely set to revolutionize the industry of cheap sound. But instead of bucking up when the horns got hot, the Tuck family just walked away from this whole project and closed up shop just 7 months after the original flexi-disc patent was filed. After that, the novelty records market exploded. It literally cost pennies and they could be found everywhere. Event giveaways, cereal boxes, even magazines like National Geographic would record important moments and then distribute them to the world via massive page-sized discs cut right into the magazine. At this point, nobody actually included the player inside of the card. The idea was always just take the record off and put it on your player at home. But in the mid-70s, vinyl was slowly falling out of style. With the rise of 8-track and cassette, not everyone had a record player anymore. And since this was firmly before digital audio could be cheaply stored, someone had to come up with a way to get the players to the people, but without compromising any of the cost-effective elements that made the product so popular in the first place. That leads us to this product. These player built-in cards really started in the late 70s, and to be honest, we have no clue who originally started this idea, which kind of makes sense in a way. This product was kind of invented to give more air to a deflating industry. It seems that just companies who made these cards just started adding players at some point. The concept is just too general. You can't patent a spike glued to a paper. But that's exactly what this thing is. It's a spike glued to a paper, which doesn't work. And without getting too deep into the weeds about how record players actually work, there are a few things that make a record player not only good, but actually functional in the first place. And the two major things are a supported needle and a consistent spin speed. This mechanism does not follow either of those rules. First off, the player itself for some reason spins at 78 RPM. Now, if you have a quick memory, you'll remember that Tuck's postcards also span at 78 RPM. But I've talked with some vinyl record engineers, and nobody can quite reason why this is the case in the 80s. In the 50s, sure, but in the 80s? Huh? It stores less information, it's harder to use, and it's not applicable to home vinyl record players that people did have the time, which mostly span at 33 and 45 RPM. In layman's terms, this thing is a mess. But if we're being honest, I like that it's crappy. I like that it's kind of a mess. But this mess will probably be best showcased by me just actually trying my absolute best to play this record like it's my birthday, like I'm excited, so let's go ahead and try that. Here it is. Hopefully you can pardon this cable. My phone is charging. Actual record player itself by Recards. It has a sale price of $1, but I imagine that's more like it was found in a thrift store or something. Because it's been sealed for almost 30 years, it's very bent, as you can see, but that's fine. All you need is one finger. Everything else is included. We will see about that. We'll play over and over, an envelope is included. The particular shape of this card and the use of a special message included will allow you and the receiver to play the following message. Hi there, it's your birthday, so just sit back and relax. Why not drop everything and really enjoy your day? Because you'll have to wait 12 months, or 52 weeks, 365 days, or 8,760 hours before your next one. Here's the $64,000 question. How are you going to spend it? Play lotto, go shopping, have a party, fill out your tax return, or simply kick back and do nothing. So many choices, so little time, but no matter what you decide, here's hoping it's the very best birthday ever. Apparently those words are copyrighted, so forgive me if I said them out of line. I must be allergic to all this stalling. Let's go ahead and open it up. I got a little thumbtack. We'll rip it open and see how it looks. I don't think I need that anymore. Let's toss it. All right, and here is the record itself. Look at that. There's the needle. Wow, it literally is just a needle glued to paper. That's really not good. So the record appears to just spin by hand, nothing too crazy, and then this right here just needs to prop up right against the record and you spin it. The only problem is, since this is paper, it's incredibly fragile. And it doesn't like to even hold on the actual record itself. As you can see, it wants to like jump out right there. I didn't even do anything. So I imagine that not only spinning this is going to be hard without the paper dislodging it, but like I said, it has to spin at 78 rotations per minute. Meaning that I literally need to be spinning it like the entire time. That's way too much work. That being said, this is supposed to work right out of the box. Remember what the package said, you don't need anything else but this. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is place it directly on this little thing right here, and we're going to go ahead and give it a spin. There's a little spot for your finger. Let's go ahead and try it out.
It's your birthday, so just sit back. Why not drop everything and really enjoy anything before your next one? Now here's the $64,000 question. How are you going? Wait a while. Go shopping. Have a party. Party. Fill out your tax return. Go shopping. Have a party. Party. Fill out your tax return. What is the return? Tax return. Or simply kick back and really not get dinner. So many choices. So little time. So many choices. So little time. But no, what you decide, it's open. It's the very best birthday ever.
See, that did not go well. It skipped, it said the tax return line like 9 times. Now that we've done it once, it's only going to get worse every other time we do it. As you can see, it already wants to skip way more. Not going well. Would I buy this for a friend? For $1? Sure, it's definitely a cute little novelty gift, but they could probably not actually understand the message on this card. Like, I don't think they physically could without a gramophone. Luckily, your boy has a gramophone. Let's try it out on that. So this is what they expect us to use if we ever wanted to actually play the record. Let's very carefully detach it and place it onto the record player itself, or the gramophone. Fits perfectly. It's cranked and ready to go, so we just need to actually drop this thing and see if it works. Oh. It doesn't work. Even with some weights, it still does not really work. It likes to skip a lot. It doesn't work even on the gramophone. So that was Recards, or Regards, or whatever they want to call themselves. I don't know. It worked slightly better than I thought it would, but to be honest, it doesn't work. Like, I wouldn't classify it as a working product. It makes sense to me why they continued to develop this product and make it better. Maybe I'll try buying a new updated version if I can find one. Thanks for watching this whole video. I have a lot more just like it on the channel and a lot more coming out, so make sure to subscribe if you're not already. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Till next time, peace off.